think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I do.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. It is great for those of you that are able to join me for a not too long live, because I only have about an hour before we're going to get over here with part 2 of our Real Housewives ladies and join them during that. There's going to be the second part of their reunion. So as you know, I have been away a week. Sandra P is free to move about the cabin. I am here for Married at First Sight. And I just wanted to do a quick roundup on the season so far. Season 20, and it's been quite a while. They have dropped another 6 episodes on us. So there are some things that I'm sure have been covered, but they haven't been covered by me yet. So I'm here and I'm just going to do a review and just kind of get caught up. If we get people in the live, I appreciate that so much. When people come in during the live, and it just helps keep everything going, keeps me engaged, everyone engaged. And we'll just do the best we can to check where everyone is as far as the couples. One of my least favorite couples, as we all know, has gotten up and out, but we will get there when we get to it. I'll just start from probably further back, and I'll just have to go back in and do little short updates of all the episodes, just where we can see, just so that we can see where we're at. So welcome in to Sandra P's Gen Extra. It is so great to see everyone. I've had a quick vacation. 5 days is quick vacation for me now. I need a little more time than that, but I am glad and blessed to be able to do the amount of time that I was. And so I want to thank you for that. And I'm going to get off screen in a second. I want you to see what I'm looking at. This is Bella Jolie's mother, Violent. And I thought that it was Violet, and I just didn't read it right when I saw that. So we're calling for Violent. Violent, we need you. Bella Jolie needs you, because they are playing with our internet niece, and I don't like to see it. The very beautiful Bella Jolie is being, I don't love it. I don't like it. And Paul, we know you're not a doctor, but he is a relationship expert. There are things I like about Paul. Not too crazy about Dr. Paz. She is some type therapist, and I know there are other titles that she holds. This is their first season, so I'll give them a little bit grace as far as that goes, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing right now with these therapists, or the so-called experts, as we'll call them. So let's just get into a little bit of updates on what we have going on with Bella Jolie, Mecca, Nikki, Dr. Sean, all of this. So we start out, and it's been some time since we did Married at First Sight, but we had Nikki and Dr. Sean, and things were kind of volatile between them in a group dinner. So now we have the people, experts behind the scenes, and they are kind of performing for the experts. They don't know the experts are there. All of the contestants, I'll call them contestants because it's looking like a game show. They all claim that they're not in competition with each other, but they all want to be seen as the best couple. Even the one that seemed to be most normal, which right now would be Cam and Michelle. But I see some cracks in Cam and Michelle as well. So that'll come up. So to see the likes of a Courtney, and of course, I know now I'm up to date. Courtney, thank God I no longer have her on my screen. I saw her for some reason in my algorithm today with the equally horrible, miserable Caitlyn over there terrorizing Devin. They are, of course, best friends. Why wouldn't they be? So to see the likes of Courtney critique Nick or anyone else is just crazy. It's wild. So if y'all had a preconceived notion of Nick, even while he's claiming while he's not here for TV, I did feel like he's here for TV. And I don't like that about Nick. This is a show about marriage, Married at First Sight. And I don't like the fact that Nick is here, in my opinion, playing around. But that doesn't mean he had to end up with the likes of a Courtney. So we are having another fake couple, Marissa and Adam. They are having some type of dinner. And Adam is sitting there. I don't think production likes Adam. I think they know he's playing a game. They focus on this nasty hole on the bottom of his sock. Adam, why are you wearing socks? He's just nasty. And his toes, he don't want us to see his feet. He must have some of these K. Michelle finger toes. So Adam says, people think I'm just surface level, like into jet skis and like working out and like pickleball. I think this is a total affect by Adam. I don't buy this tech bro at all. Marissa's sitting there laughing. He's claiming we're both solid financially. She says her parents were fighting about money all the time. I want to see more from Marissa, but I can understand why she doesn't give more to Adam. Adam is fake and Adam is playing around with her. So we get a little bit of Marissa's story. Marissa was telling us that her father left and he left them in dire financial straits. We find out Adam was super skinny. He started whipping the gym because he wanted to be accepted. Marissa was bullied for having chicken legs. And he's telling her, oh, you know, that we were cut. I don't like Adam acting as if this is the new him. I don't buy it. So, of course, Adam has to turn around to a sexual conversation. Where's the weirdest place? He's claiming a jet ski. I don't believe most of what's Adam's mouth anymore. Marissa's still laughing. Marissa's still laughing. He said if he'd have to have a threesome, he would call Felipe in there. Because Marissa said, I think it'd have to be an out-of-towner. Would you consider another man? Most men would out of hand just say no. Because when they say threesome, they have to be honest. They mean another woman, two women. They don't want another man in there. Most people. But I was shocked to see Adam admit to, well, call Felipe in there. So, Adam, you obviously had your eye on Felipe. Dr. Sean and Nikki have a picnic, which he calls a Nick that was kind of cute. Nikki wants a partner to be her best friend. The marriage that they have is not working on because she says they're out of order because they don't know each other. They're getting to know each other after the fact. So he says, I see you're feeling cold. And he jumps up to get her a blanket. He wants to know the pathways to yes for decision day. Nikki's saying there's been tremendous conflict and we were non-compatible. Now there's a path to compatibility. Yeah, I think Nikki and Sean are faking the funk as well. I don't really think that, she has said flat out, she's not interested in Sean. Mama Bees, welcome in. I'm going to stop. I'm doing the review, just updating Married to Medicine. And I have been out of the way for a week because I'm free to move about the cabin. Mama Bees is one of the sister moderators. I'm thrilled to see you here. I want to say hello. I hope you have been well. And thank you for dropping in to speak during the live. Hey, Sandra P. Chat Mods. Hello, Mama Bees. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'm just going to do a quick hour or so we can be off of the live by the time the Real Housewives ladies get back in here. So Nikki's saying that she gets hurt physically or romantically. She needs to get out of her head. She wants to explore, unblock their connection. These two are always talking business. So there's nothing sexy about these two. Sean said, don't continue to block your blessing. So they're laughing. I think that Nikki is considering the way she looks at Sean. It's like she doesn't want to admit that there might be some attraction or that she would at least, if he's discreet, there are some things that can happen. But we'll see that happen a little more. So we have Tori and her group of friends are eating this burned pizza. They are discussing Felipe. He's an atheist. And she used to just swipe left if the person was not compatible with her. But now she's married and all of a sudden she's making excuses for Felipe and the fact that they could actually be together and be married, her being a Christian and him being an actual atheist. So they also discuss Felipe has cheated in the past. It sounds like Tori's making excuses for that. And she's saying, well, the person didn't find out about it until they were broken up. So there's one of the ones with glasses. I feel like, Nene, wait a minute, Glasses. Glasses is saying, well, he's never dated someone like you. He's never dated a Tori. Like they think Tori is so much finer than Felipe. They're kind of equally yoked. And then Felipe is saying that he just got fine. I'll let Felipe have that. I don't want to tear the man down. But he has this image of himself where he could stand up next to a Tori. But honestly, when you see him with Tori, he seems a little bit intimidated. And we'll see some of Felipe's behavior and the way he talks to her in front of people. You will see that Felipe might be a little bit intimidated. So some of the other couples, of course, poor Nick. I started out couldn't stand Nick. Now I'm like, poor Nick because of Courtney. We'll go further with that. Bella Jolie and Mecca. I had high hopes for this couple, and now I don't anymore because I feel like they want Bella Jolie to do all the heavy lifting as far as Mecca's concerned and his background. We met that dad and his logic during the wedding, and we can see that Mecca's really messed up and needs deep therapy. And he'll start talking more about childhood issues that he's had. Caitlyn and Devin. Devin is saying he wanted to have solidarity with her as his wife, and he's saying that she is flat out refusing to kind of be on his side with what he wants. We saw that he had a situation with Courtney. Courtney had a birthday dinner. She was flying up in Devin's face. Devin was a little drunk, and it just wasn't nice. So Nick will start out with the birthday dinner. He gave her a birthday cake with 4 candles. She's in a solo confessional. Courtney is complaining about Nick, as she always is. This dude literally saying, you need to be more goofy. What the F? You want me to be all over you? I hate the way Courtney's allowed to speak to and about Nick. I think if a man were doing that to a woman on this show, they'd be trying to rescue her and they would be acting like she's in some type danger. But because it is Courtney and she's a small statured, the white woman, they have an issue with correcting her. They want to coddle her. And I don't think that's right. So she gets back into the birthday cake with Nick, thanking him. And she's all smiles. Also being fake is Nikki and Dr. Sean. But I feel like I can understand why they don't want people to see them as the problem couple. But it's just fake. They had the mafia party. They're all wearing these different mafia style themed page boy caps. Courtney sits between Michelle and Caitlyn. Nick comes in, excuse me, and immediately it's like, where am I going to sit? Because that's her husband. She says, well, I'll sit next to you, but I'm going to have to move somebody around. Nick obviously has a problem with it. She doesn't like Nick. Mama B says it. She has a problem with it. She doesn't like Nick. And then she reluctantly, Michelle ended up moving next to her husband, Cam, which is where she should have been all along. I don't see why the couple shouldn't have just arranged themselves to sit together. So the let's see, where the experts, I'll bring in the experts if they were looking at them. What I do like is that sometimes when they meet, they have the group dinner. The experts are behind the scenes, picking out things about the couples, which I like because the couples, to me, a lot of them are being fake, and we need the experts to kind of tell them what's going on. Bella's sitting there snapping gum. She's doing that because, of course, there's the mafia themed thing, which I think is cute. Felipe is still sweating. So I don't know what's going on with you, Felipe. Courtney is giving a birthday toast. Of course, it's a cursing toast. You guys are effing awesome and all this kind of stuff. So Mecca and Bella Jolie, everybody's getting drunk. They start to get a little bit of things off their chest. And Bella Jolie is saying, I just don't want Mecca to shut down. Devin claiming he has seen Mecca shut down before. And Bella Jolie is saying, I support him, I don't want him to take things out on me. What I'm noticing about Mecca, he's gesturing. Mecca has very feminine, beautiful hands. And the black nail polish doesn't help. He's very effeminate. And Bella Jolie is always defending him, taking up for him, even starting from the wedding. Like, don't talk to my husband like that. So Bella Jolie was saying that he felt attacked at the last experts meeting that they had when they called him performative, and he was. He acted like when I first saw her and her big old booty, and Mecca doesn't speak that way. Mecca didn't even view Bella Jolie that way. That'll come up, but he wanted to be seen and heard and all this kind of stuff. So he got upset that Michelle and also Paul ended up calling him out. So she's saying, they had him so upset, I didn't even get any pain. I was shocked to hear Bella Jolie speaking that way, but I guess it's an age thing. We'll let you have that, Bella Jolie. So Courtney is ordering espresso martinis. Nick is saying, but that's vodka. She's ignoring him. She has her back to him. Remember, he had to beg her to sit there. And Nick is in a confessional saying, I'm kind of reading the room. She just don't want to talk to me. So I feel a little bit sorry for Nick. And I'm one of the people, I was hard on Nick. I didn't like the fact that Nick actually came on this show, and he's been on 3-4 others. Welcome in, Anitra J. Not that Anitra, the Anitra J. Hey there, Sandra P. Hey, Anita J. Thank you. Catching up with these crazy Married at First Sight couples before our Real Housewives of Atlanta live comes on at 8 p.m. So thank you for stopping in during the live. I appreciate it. Mama B's, one of the sister moderators, is here, and we are just catching up a little bit. And it's a good season. It's season 20. So Devin, as always, he's saying, you're shutting me out. Courtney is fake crying. I don't know why Devin is doing all this much talking to Courtney. I don't think that's a good move. She starts cursing him out. I don't need this on my birthday. I don't really know how the whole thing started, but I know that Devin and Courtney kind of got into it. And Devin went a little too far for me when he was saying, hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Because I guess she was triggering him because his wife does that. Caitlyn starts going in her phone. She tunes him out. And so Devin was getting upset about that. His wife does the same thing. And we know Courtney and Caitlyn are friends now. So she says, I love you, but I don't need this on my effing birthday. She starts cussing Devin out. She said, this MFer came at me. I effing deserve love. That's a theme that Courtney gives us. She effing deserve love. She said, I need you to control your husband. Now, in fairness to Caitlyn didn't hear everything that was going on, but I didn't like her calling out Caitlyn, like, control your husband. Then she calls Nick, control your friend. Get your boy. Get your boy. So she kind of made a scene at her birthday dinner. Caitlyn is asking, like, what's going on? And Devin's like, well, I kind of need you to side with me. Caitlyn is saying, well, I just met you 2 weeks ago. Caitlyn, you just met Courtney with this extra E that's ridiculous 2 weeks ago. You met her 2 weeks ago. So this is crazy. I can understand her missing most of the conversation, not wanting to get involved, but I don't understand her defending her husband against this MAGA freak. And that, yeah, I'm going to call Courtney with this extra E that, because that's what she is. Welcome in, Cece. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you. Good evening, Sandra P's, Gen Extra, Mama B's, Anita J, chat. Thank you so much. And everyone is speaking back. Cece's one of our sister moderators. And I had to jump in here after being away a week to just catch up on Married at First Sight, because we know they like to drop 3 episodes at a time. We have 1 week left before they actually have Decision Day. And Courtney, who I'm talking about, her birthday dinner, thankfully, has already had her Decision Day. So she's saying, the wife, Caitlyn, saying, I just met you. So now there's going to be an issue with Devin and Caitlyn when they go home. Michelle and Cam, I would like to be a more calming presence and influence, but they're actually not. So everybody's getting into it. And I feel I'm going to blame Courtney for this, even though it was her birthday. So we get back to Devin and Caitlyn's condo, and they are having a fight like I think it was Houston. One of the Texas seasons, might have been Dallas. Rachel and Jose were fighting, and he locked her out of the apartment, talking about he got to secure his apartment. So that's what's going on here. Caitlyn is still in her little leather dress, and she's saying, I went to psycho class. She said, I'm feeling like I'm dealing with a 5-year-old. Devin goes in for a hug. Devin, I don't like this. You guys are in the middle of an argument, so don't get physical with her, because you don't really know her like that, even though this is your wife. And she went a little below the belt. You want me to trust you? Never gonna happen. You want me to be a leader in my life? It's never gonna happen. And I think she should be more careful, because she doesn't know this man. Cameras are there, but luckily Devin has not shown any aggression, even though he is a professional rugby player, and that is an aggressive sport. So Devin's beyond respectful. He's standing there at the door. She's still going off on him. She finally cussed him out to the point he left the bedroom. Courtney is in her respective apartment with poor Nick cussing him out. Y'all, I think if Courtney had stayed any longer, she would have been putting her little hands and feet on Nick. I just believe it. And everyone's speaking back. Welcome in, American Born. Good evening, Sandra P's, Gen Extra. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us during this live. I was telling everybody I was getting anxious about being behind on Married at First Sight, because they drop 3 episodes at a time. So I'm just catching up before we get to next week, where they only have 1 week to Decision Day. So American Born, don't stay away from me. American Born, come in and take your seat. Thank you so much for joining us during the live. You haven't missed too much. I'm just going to catch up as I can. So next we have a scene that should have been a throwaway scene. We get Adam and Marissa. I guess they want them to be this happy-go-lucky fun couple. He's trying on clothes. This is sick. Oh, this is that. And it's all resort wear, older people type stuff. I'll get the cheetah one if you get this one. Marissa's just laughing. I dare you to wear that to a Paul session. Paul is an expert. He's not a doctor, but he's one of the experts. I don't like the way that Adam discounts him. We're going to see Felipe do that, and Paul finally have to check him. So these are new experts, but these are also new sets of couples. So I don't like certain men challenging them in that way. I think that's a little bit crazy. Everyone is welcome in American Born. Yes, it's almost over. It's been a great show. American Born, I was skeptical about the season, but they've done an amazing job moving it over to Peacock. It's moving along. They're not stretching it out in the 2 and 3 hour episodes where we had to meet everybody from their hometown, including the English teacher and the dog. I love it. We're getting to know the couples, getting to know the experts and where they stand, and it's moving along. Again, a week until decision day. Adam will do anything for attention, shaking my head. Yes, I didn't know that this was a persona, but this tech bro thing is a persona, and I think he's a fraud. He's a fake. And what he's giving to us, including the way he speaks, it's sick, bro. I'm vibing. I don't think that's real. I think that's who Adam wants to be. Thank you for the update, CC. 4 likes, 5 and alive. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So Devin and Caitlin, they are hung over, and she's little, so she might have still been under the influence. He apologizes to her. I'm sorry. She says, okay. Caitlin, I don't like that kind of acceptance of an apology. You should apologize back, especially within a couple, unless it was something egregious. And he's saying, I know I can regulate myself. I would never put you in a position to make you feel unsafe. I did like Devin bringing this up because as crazy as we think this show is and we make fun of it and it's kind of a joke, this is a marriage. Now, there's rumors it's not a legal marriage. They had to move like they did with the UK and Australia. Every week they're getting a chance. You want to continue. You want to continue. Whereas in the past, they used to say stuff like, this is an official marriage. You have to go through an official divorce. But they're choosing each other every week. I like Devin is making clear to her, I wouldn't put you in an unsafe position. And Caitlin has told us she has chosen toxic men in the past, and they have been not great to her. So they go into another one of these group sessions. We have Mecca and Bella Jolie enter. They always look adorable. Paul always notices how visually beautiful they are together. So Mecca is actually trying to be seen as this fun-loving, young, cool couple. And we know that he's not attracted to Bella Jolie like that. And this is why I really feel badly for her. I feel sorry for Bella Jolie because I do think her feelings are a little stronger. And he keeps pointing that out to her, which I don't like. So they sit down with Paul, and Mecca's telling him about the prior week when Paul and also Michelle said he was being performative, which he was. And Paul asked, did you feel attacked? He felt attacked. Mecca says, yeah, by you. And Mecca, I do like that Mecca was able, he said, and I'm glad you put it on screen, Mecca, because I felt the same. He said, I respect what you think. I also respect what Michelle thinks. Courtney was weighing in too, but I like the fact that he didn't mention her. We don't respect you, Courtney, even Mecca. But he was being performative. Mecca says he holds him and Michelle in high regard. So he's already clocked Courtney's BS like the rest of us. Bella Jolie lies. Nothing felt performative. This is who he actually is. Paul says, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I never want anyone to feel attacked. I just want to shake you. And I feel like that's what happened from the looks of it. It kind of worked. So I like the fact that Mecca was able to express how he felt with Paul. Paul gave one of those, sorry that you felt that way, apology, but Mecca, you were being performative. So he's telling him this is uncharted territory. Name your feeling that you're trying to push away. Mecca said love. So I was surprised to hear that from him. I just see him as very childish. But again, we met the father. We met Logic, and we know he's childish as well. So what else is Mecca going to be but childish? And Paul tells Mecca, this is a commitment piece of love. And there's going to be more talking about how they grow in love. That's one of Pastor Cal's things. But I don't like the fact that we don't get to hear from Bella Jolie and what she needs. I feel like when Kierna was ending up Real Housewives Potomac season, Giselle didn't go. We get Mecca's package all the time. We don't get Bella Jolie's package. And that's why I have Violent up here. I need Violent to be violent and defend her daughter. Where you at, Mom? Come see about Bella Jolie. I agree, Sandra. He's a fraud. Yes, Adam is a fraud. Now, Nick was the one that I thought I'd feel that way about, but now it's Adam. Dr. Sean as well, but I think we get aspects into Dr. Sean's personality that he can't hide. If you know, you know. AB says, question, are we really seeing the real evolved Devin? I don't know, American Born. Some people are looking at Devin as if Devin is trying to be seen a certain way because he let it slip. He actually said, well, I thought I'd come in, love bomber, and then we'd really get close. Love bombing has never been anything positive. So, Devin, you don't want to love bomb your wife. Hope you had a great trip at Mama B's. Yes, Mama B's has been free to move about the cabin as well, and I was so thrilled to have her drop in. I hope that as well. So, Mecca is talking about his past, his traumas. He was always jealous of his friends that had their biological moms. We're going to hear later, he felt the same way about his siblings that had their mom. So my heart goes out to Mecca. I can only be but so hard on Mecca because of that mother wound that he has. He has a place in my heart just because of that. But I don't want Bella Jolie to be overlooked either. And I feel like she's getting the short end of the stick. Paul is saying that there's self-sabotage. We choose fear over love. Bella Jolie is such a defender of you. She won't force you to do anything you didn't want. And Paul's saying, I believe you love him. He's saying that to Bella Jolie. I'm saying, girl, don't say that. I don't like that. He's telling Mecca to step into it. She's just laughing. It's the next level. But I'm so glad that she didn't say that yet. Because I think Mecca, he loves the feeling. He wants to feel like Bella Jolie is more into him than he is into her. And I think she's only going to get hurt if she lets him continue down this path. So they had a good session with Paul. Devin ended up bringing flowers. Caitlin's bragging on him in confessional. He's so thoughtful. He's doing this and that. And AB's asking the question like, well, is this the real him? We don't know. He could be putting on too. I hope your trip was good as well. It was amazing. Thank you so much, American Born. I appreciate that. Absolutely fabulous. Mama B's, I'm so thrilled to hear that. I did love Mecca until he said some slick stuff to her. Now he's off my good list. AB, I had that couple is the one that I really love together, but he has kind of nitpicked at her to the point where he's trying to chisel away at her self-esteem. And we know that big, beautiful smile Bella Jolie came in on. I don't think any man or any person should be able to put a dent in that. I don't like it. And AB, that's why I put Violent, the mama, because she needs her mama. And we need Violent to get violent in defense of her daughter. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like it at all. So you can drag Mecca. I may drag him a little bit, but I'm trying to treat him with kids' gloves. But every week he does something to get on my nerves. And usually it's related to how he's treating our sweet Bella Jolie, who's doing nothing but defending him. One of the stronger couples right now is Kim and Michelle. I didn't review the part yet where they all see the places. So, of course, Kim's place is just a typical bachelor place. It's nice. He goes to see Michelle's place, which is beautiful. She's very creative. She did her own paneling. She put a lot of work into these paintings. I love the fact that Kim was just giving her compliments. You painted this? She said it took 50 hours. We get a solo from Kim saying this is a masterpiece. I don't want to say she's too good to me, but she's bringing her A game. I love this. And then we see that she has a roommate. He's bragging about, I think his name was Tim. I don't want you to replace Cam with Tim. He makes this popcorn for her, some kind of ingredient. I don't know. I don't know how popcorn can be so elevated, but that's what he's saying. Truffle oil and all this stuff. So he's got her hooked on that. So and I like the way that Kim is able to, he talks to her roommate. The roommate is asking, well, what kind of traits do you think stand out about her? He said that he doesn't want someone that's just agreeable. He wants someone with a little edge. And then Tim is telling us, well, she could be a little edgy. Michelle gives a confessional. Michelle, I would have taken this to my grave. She says, yeah, I can be spicy. I actually gave 25 angry back-to-back texts one time when the person didn't even respond. Michelle, that is next level crazy. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. Cam, you say you've never been in a long-term relationship. This woman has sent 25 back-to-back texts. So y'all, that's crazy. Cam is also telling us they've never argued or disagreed yet. They are on the same page usually. So Michelle's way of talking is driving me crazy. As you all know, she puts a question mark on the end of everything and then tries to sound a little younger than she actually is. It's a little crazy. Y'all, that drives me nuts. Michelle, you're smarter than that. Stop it. And then somewhere along the way, we had a whole episode almost where we didn't really see Dr. Paz. So next we had that scene, the infamous scene. Sean comes into the living room. His head is sweating and he's dry everywhere else. He's in a towel. Nikki's dressed in workout clothes. She's in the kitchen. He says, I just wanted to ask, I'm trying to figure out if we could get mutual, y'all, this man was talking about mutual happy endings. Nikki looked like I looked. Nikki looked frazzled. Nikki said, you mean independently? She was serious. I was too. It was almost like the wedding. Now they claim that that's fancy camera work. I believe that happened when Nikki said, do I just wait here for my groom? Nikki was surprised at what he was asking. I was too. This is a part of marriage. He wants to know. She says, well, independently, you can take care of yourself. He said, I want you to do it. That's a part of you taking care of your marital, he didn't say duties, but this is going to come up later because he tried to make it look as if he wasn't pressuring her. He was pressuring her. She's dressed to work out. He's in a towel. And we know you only take 3-minute showers, Dr. Sean. So I don't know why you are in here in the middle of the day requesting something that's not going to happen. So she's confused about it. It's a flat out no for right then. He slapped the countertop and said, okay, done. And then he appeared to go outside on the patio. If I were your neighbor, Dr. Sean, I would have called the police on you. It was so inappropriate. Y'all, that was crazy. And the fact that we're talking about Dr. Sean episodes later as if he's not a nut is a testament to how he is able to gaslight. So he is, he said it's done. So Nikki, you safe for right now. I don't know what he was going to do out there in that tower. I think he's going to flash the neighbors, but I was disgusted by him. And I joked weeks ago about bewildered tall women married to all these little men. It's because they're so persistent. Because Nikki has told Dr. Sean that she is not interested in being intimate with him at this point in time. They're working toward that. And this man came out half naked with his towel right here and requested a mutual happy ending. And he was serious. And y'all's going to come up later, a mess. Bella Jolie is such a sweet person. I think she is too, American Born. I want to see her defend herself. I think when they go to the couples retreat, Mecca is going to misstep or overstep again. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of the violent part of her, like her mama. We need somebody to defend her because she's too sweet. I don't like what she's going through right now. AB says, Michelle's very creative. It's perfect for Cam, in my opinion, because she is a happy person. He's had some depression. Yeah, now I don't mind them doing that yin to yang, American Born. A lot of times I don't like when they do a complete opposite. Like you say, I'm a sapiosexual, let's say Nikki. I don't really care what a man looks like as long as he stimulates my mind. So you give her this little brown smurf that's the same height as her when she likes tall drinks of water. But I don't mind the fact that Michelle's smiley, she's happy. Cam can get a little down on himself. I like the fact that they do that little mix. So that works. Oh, you're right. That's a great point. Sean, what a pig. He's terrible. And I don't care that they're married. Sean had no right to come out there like that. I thought that was disgusting. That's my favorite part of this whole show. Her asking, where's my husband? She sure did, American Born. I think she felt so bad after that. I think they have this truce where they're not going to let it get but so crazy. Now, Sean kind of pressed the envelope a little bit with this towel request that he had. That was a mess. But I don't think they're going to do any knockdown drag-outs toward each other. And I hope they don't, because the other couples are real comfortable weighing in on them and felt like they would be the train wreck. And they're not the train wreck. Courtney and Nick are the train wreck. And mainly it's because of Courtney. Because Nick, honestly, I don't like the fact that he was just here for TV, but that don't mean Courtney gets to drop F-bombs on the man every time he opens his mouth. AB said, only thing I don't like about Kim and Michelle, they love to talk about the other couples. AB, like minds. I was thinking that before you even put that in there, because they do feel like they're in competition. They're this perfect couple just because they're not a train wreck on their face like the other couples. But look, Michelle, 25 angry texts back to back and the person didn't even answer you yet. What if they got hit by a bus and they were in the hospital? How do you feel? You know, it's crazy. FYI, all the women he named come out and said they don't know Sean. We're gonna see more of Sean. There was one woman saying that he's been trying to get on a reality TV show and skip to her car and ask her that. And you gotta be on a show with me and we'll pretend we're dating. So I could see them doing that. Next, we have a cute scene with Bella Jolie and Mecca. They're doing the whole love and basketball thing. And I think this is a rerun of what we had one time with Paige and Chris, season 12. What are we playing for? Your heart. So Mecca's playing for a kiss. They're playing horse. She's just laughing through the game. He's scoring. She's kind of terrible at it, but I think Bella Jolie kind of wants him to kiss her because, as he has told us, she is more attracted to him than he is to her. And Mecca, I don't know why you're so excited about that. That's a little strange, the way that he continues to bring that up. I don't think that makes sense. So again, Dr. Paz, we didn't see her for a long time. Now we see her. We get the group dynamic. I love the group dinner that they have because something always pops off at the group dinner. Nick and Courtney, of course, they had this Courtney's 40th, but I don't know how. Courtney's claiming that she's 29. Courtney, I think you were 29 maybe 11 years ago. I think you probably in your early 40s. So Courtney's birthday dinner is a topic of discussion when they go to the next group dinner. And they talk about everything that happened at that birthday dinner and where her and Devin got into it. And the fact that Devin's own wife did not defend, I lost my notes. Devin's wife did not defend him. She defended Courtney because she didn't know Courtney. She knew Courtney, but she didn't know Devin. She'd only known everybody for 2 weeks, which was crazy. So Courtney is all defensive, which she always is. I hate the way she speaks. Nick, honestly, I thought Nick was going to be the fake one because he has this reality TV background, but I don't think he's acting. I don't think he's that great an actor. He was expressing his hurt over even the seating arrangement. So Dr. Paz and them were kind of trying to draw him out about that. And she was saying, I don't understand why he was so upset about it. And he was saying, well, because I just wanted us to start kind of talking to each other, touching each other a little more, you being a little bit goofy. And she's saying that she does that. Courtney, you do not. You don't joke with him. You don't do any of that. But she puts it on in front of the experts again. What do you want to kiss? Come here. And then she gives him a fake kiss, I thought. So Nick's saying they're looking forward to deeper conversation. She lied. I look forward to even kissing you some more. So that, I'm sorry, y'all, that wasn't one of the group dinners. That was the session that they have, the individual sessions. Next, we get Dr. Sean. He's sprinkling rose petals all around the house. He's calling for Nikki. Close your eyes. I'm doing a game call. You ain't got no sense. Y'all, I didn't think this was sexy. I thought it was kind of disgusting. He blindfolded her. I would have felt like I was being kidnapped. I didn't like it. Nikki's like, Dad, Nikki, you are being very brave. I think that Married at First Sight played with Nikki. I don't like it. I know she gets a lot of criticism, but I have sympathy for Nikki. We need justice for Nikki. Dr. Sean is just too much. So the experts are telling us intimacy is important. Nikki's in a solo saying that intimacy is very important. It's something she wants to work toward. And then she says something about an innuendo. Sean is trying to get her to taste stuff. Again, he's blindfolded her. He says, I'm going to put something in your mouth. Y'all, Nikki let this man put something in her mouth. Then he said, it's a brownie. Sean, do you know this lady's allergies? You could have killed Nikki in there. Y'all, this wasn't cute to me. We'll zip through this. He's got whipped cream. He's like, disgusting. Then he has a whip. Y'all, he has a feather. Nikki is laughing. He finally takes off the blindfold. He's in this red silk robe. And Nikki said, oh, that's cute. Y'all, I can't. But then she gets serious. Okay, I was caught off guard today. You mentioned that you needed relief, and this is part of my wifely duty. And the framing made me uncomfortable and pressured. He cut her off. Oh my God, Jesus. I didn't say wifely duty. Now, Dr. Sean, this is where I get on Dr. Sean. He lied flat out. He lied flat out. They had to play the cam behind the scene like they did with Rachel and Jose that time, where he said exactly that to her. Then we get a solo from him. He says, there's never a time when she's not ridiculous and creating a moment. I'd never, ever say. And then he's circling his neck and doing all that. He's claiming that he'd never say that. He did say that. He 100% said it. And he's lying on camera. So he said, girl, ain't nobody sweating you. Again, Sean gets a lot of criticism, but it's well-deserved. So this was just crazy. Sean, you lied. You did do that to Nikki. You came in there in a towel, propositioned her, tried to get something mutual going. She suggested independent, and you didn't want to be bothered. You said, done, and you stormed out in your towel. AB says, do you think they should have actual therapists for the show? I do, because they're playing, not only playing with marriages, even if, maybe it's not a full marriage now, but people that don't know each other living together. UK is in a situation over that right now, the UK-based show, which I'm surprised they brought Paul over here, because some of the couples, the women, are exclaiming that they were coerced into activity of, we know the alcohol flows, and then people have regrets. We saw Tori go through her regrets. So I think they should have experts. AB says, Courtney was not ready for marriage, in my opinion. She's rude. Yeah, she doesn't know how to talk to people. That was one of the things she was telling Nick. I don't know what the F you want. My parents have been married 40 years, and they had the birthday dinner. My mom was over here, and dad was over there. They never touch. I kind of liked their parents. We didn't see a lot of them. So what I saw, I don't have anything negative. But Courtney's a monster for some reason. I didn't like that either. Him tying her up. Yeah, that was a little bit too much. No, ma'am. No, she don't know this man. They got that little camera in there. But what if production is on a lunch break or something? I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Cece says, related to Mavs, did you hear Ryan Danino passed away? Yes, I heard that, Cece, at 40. So I don't know details, but I did hear that. Everyone who doesn't know Ryan Danino, he was in one of the terrible marriages. I forgot who they matched him with early on, season 2. AB said, I did. I heard it was so. Oh, no. I didn't know that, AB. You know how secretive they are when that's the case. I think that's the time. I mean, I know the family's hurt, but I think that's a time people can talk about it, because it is a real life thing that happens. I'm sorry to hear that. I heard that he had. I didn't hear that that's what it was. AB says, yeah, you had Sean and you lied, Sean, and had the nerve to say she was exasperating. Honestly, they equally yoked. Both of them are a pain in the neck, but I can stand Nikki a little more than I can stand Dr. Sean. AB says, yes, Paul needs to actually go back to school and get a degree. He made mistakes. Watch the UK show. I didn't watch the UK show, but I was watching the news, and the BBC had a report on some of the things that were going on, and it was nothing nice. And I believe those ladies, just watching how the alcohol flows, and that is very intimate. Going on a honeymoon with someone, and yet they claiming they have legal paperwork, and then you get someone like Dr. Sean, that could be really awkward. And now, let's see, Devin is trying to love bomb in his own way, but we're not seeing him do anything as forward as Dr. Sean has been. So Dr. Sean and Nikki have one of these long business conversations. Y'all, that whole thing was so unsexy. I feel like Nikki's just going to talk his ear off until decision day. And we're not going to see too much else as far as in the romance department from these two. That's what I put in my notes at the time. But y'all, these notes are old. We know Dr. Sean is in there doing something. He is getting under Nikki's skin a little bit. He's getting a little bit closer to her. So I find it kind of interesting how he's able to weasel her way in. Okay, Nikki, don't get caught up. We have Cam and Michelle. They meet Dr. Paz, and he says that he hasn't felt this way in so long. I love to see the change in Cam. Cam was very stoic, but he is getting a little bit giddy. He said he drives up from Portland just to spend an extra night with her. They're talking compromise as far as where they're going to live. He used to think his only career was coaching, and that is his dream, but he can have more than one dream. Dr. Paz is shocked. And Michelle is saying, Cam has this emotional intelligence. Here she goes again. Cam is crying that you talk so nicely about me. He's never had a woman speak about him so highly. And Dr. Paz is saying, what's making you emotional about it? And Michelle saying, well, I feel like I got really lucky. I do like how this relationship, and even though it may be Cam's first, maybe not. I think first long term, even though it's not long term, it could be a marriage, supposed to be a marriage. So he hasn't dated anyone longer than 6 months, and he's almost 40 years old. He's 37 years old. So I do like the fact that Cam's allowing himself to open up to Michelle. So Courtney with this extra E is crazy. Her and Nick were having something. I usually wouldn't do lingerie. You're going to get naked anyway, right? Courtney started to remind me of the man in this relationship, with Nick acting like the poor little aggrieved housewife. Nick looked so disillusioned right before he left. Poor Nick. This is terrible. So she had wine, had lollipops. They were trying to have a sexy conversation. It just ended up being crazy. I think Nick was lying. Something about the weirdest place they ever... Y'all, this conversation was a lie. He started to say something about in his grandma's house. Courtney told him, that's weird. I don't care if you're in there with dolls. Just don't do it at grandma. She deflates Nick. So then he made up something about a rental car. Y'all, I'm so glad they got these people away from us. They made this whole season so awkward. So another thing about her, she's talking a mile a minute. I think that something's going on with her. Something maybe of what's rumored to be going on with Felipe, or maybe something gym related. I don't know. But if you know, you can speculate. And again, everything is just alleged. It's in my opinion. But I think that there's something wrong with Courtney. So Nick was saying that they don't have physical touch. That's one of the things that he actually likes. Courtney's saying, I don't need that. These two are complete and total opposites. When I mentioned Cam and Michelle having a nice little yin for yang, like someone who can get a little down and sad, and someone who tries to always be up and happy, that's what I mean. Not Courtney and what Nick got going on, y'all. This is crazy. So she jumped straight to in the past and her ex and all this kind of stuff. Nick, I don't even know why you try. Then they claim that they want to kiss each other again. They do this very awkward kiss. I just wrote down, please stop. I can't with Nick and Courtney with this extra E. I'm so glad they left. I want to thank Courtney for that, because I think Nick would have tried to stay 2 more weeks. We get Felipe and Tori. We saw his apartment. It's a beautiful white apartment. And I was kind of shocked to see that. But then we find out later the mom and sister put everything up for them. Mecca visited BJ in the studio. The producer compliments them as a couple. Wow, look at this. And so she's saying, I love it in here. It's food for the soul. And Mecca saying, oh, okay, you got a little something going on. And then he starts talking about, last night you kind of had an attitude with me. We find out Mecca kept Bella Jolie, that she's an adult, but he kept her out until 4:30 in the morning before a studio session. She kept saying, well, if I wanted to leave, I would have said it. And he's saying, I think you're mad at me. He kind of wants to argue. And I think he wants to argue because he saw how happy Bella Jolie was in her studio in front of the producer. Music is something that she loves. And I think Mecca kind of wanted to ruin that a little bit. Mecca, I'm disappointed in you, because when Mecca took Bella Jolie to his family's business, generational business, the first, the only Black Midwest, I don't know if it's called porta potty, but that's what they do. So supposedly lucrative, rent them out at events, clean them. And he took her to that, and she was all smiles. And all he could do was make fun of her, what she had on, the whole thing. Mecca, I don't know. I feel like you're going to mess this up, brother. And I hate it. Now we see he got an old long-faced girlfriend in his past going, it's me. I'm the one that he couldn't get over. Girl, sit down, shut up, and don't talk before the season is over. I don't like this new what do they call them? Those agreements. I don't like the new non-disclosure agreements. I don't like the fact that they can just get out and start saying whatever they want to say, because there's too much behind the scenes that we now find out about. And then my fault, I go out and I surf the Reddit streets, otherwise known as Skid Row, and I find out stuff there too. But I do like to watch it as it unfolds on TV. So we have another, let me read the comments, then I'll go to the next couple, which is Devin and Caitlyn again. He did something special for Caitlyn. And we find Devin's almost, I don't know, he has qualities that some wives are the ones that plan things and do special things and want more quality time, and a lot of the men are hands off. That's stereotypical, but it's so funny that we have a few couples that are almost the exact opposite on this show this season, with Courtney just being so rough and gruff and not needing Nick around, and then Caitlyn doing the same thing. So AB says, I don't like that he keeps asking if they're in love, yet as if they wouldn't know. I don't think he's ever been in love, American Born. I can kind of understand why he keep asking that. He don't know. They did Nick wrong. I hate that I'm taking his side. American Born, I thought that I was going to be all over Nick for being a reality TV garden tool and just wanting to be on TV. And now here I am feeling sorry for Nick and wishing he can get a do-over. And she had the nerve to go, find me another husband. No, we wouldn't. We don't know any man that we dislike enough to find you another husband, Courtney. Felipe's a big disappointment. He is. And I feel like he's going to hurt Tori, and I hate that. But I don't know. Tori might not be one to play with. Some of the stuff that Tori says, I can see a little bit of crazy in her, where she might get things might get a little uncomfortable for Felipe. American Born says Felipe's mom is still buying his clothes, underwear, socks, etc. He's a mama's boy, 100% a mama's boy. And then we hear later on that Tori is even saying they do everything for him, his mother, his sister. And then for me, another deal breaker was that 3-legged, skinless Sphynx cat. I couldn't. If I got up in the middle of the night to use the restroom and that thing crossed my path, I probably would fall out. Mama B says Mecca is so childish. He's not man enough for her. Mama B's, he's not. I don't think he was ready to be married at first sight. I really don't. I don't know what made him even apply. And he had a scene with Dr. Paz where it was also at dinner. She said, well, when I told him he was matched, he got emotional. He said, I can't believe someone would love me for life. Y'all should have known this man needs intense therapy. The way he related to the dad and the way the dad humiliated him at the wedding dinner, to the point where violence, Bella Jolie's mom had to speak life into him and tell him, you're special, you're this, you're that. This man was not fit to be cast as a husband. I'm sorry. AB says 100%. Mama B's, yeah, he's very childish. AB says me too. Yeah, I can't stand. And you being a puppy person and a dog person, that 3-legged Sphynx cat, I can't. That's just weird to me. So we have, we'll go to the next couple. Devin is preparing for a Harry Potter night. We find out that Caitlyn loves Harry Potter. Caitlyn, I think that is so cute. She loves Harry Potter, Taylor Swift, something else that didn't match, but she put them all together. Those are her 3 favorite things. He's doing Harry Potter for her. She is finally excited. This is the best night of my life. I love the fact that she loves that he did this for her. So Devin, you're going to get a great wife after this show. I don't think you are going to be with Caitlyn. I think they're playing with you. So I love the fact that he is with her. And they're playing You Should Let Me Love You. Y'all, that was just in the movie You, Me, and Tuscany. They played it on the cruise. And they played the Mario song that Neo wrote. So Neo's getting a little bit of coin from that. AB says, it's sad that Tori had to make other arrangements because Felipe can't be trusted to take the dog out. Yeah, AB, that's crazy. The dog is a part of the family now that they're married. So I don't know why he's feeling like, he doesn't have to be involved in the dog's life, because Felipe, yes, you do. What's he going to do if they had children? But I don't think he has to worry about that. I don't think that they're going to stay together either. So next, this was a terrible scene. We had Nick and Courtney playing Adam and Marissa in pickleball. She ended up getting hurt. He kept jumping in front of her to smack the ball in front of her. A mess. I wouldn't have been out there with them. We find out now, earlier on, Courtney had already said, Adam's the best looking husband. And Nick said, that's a wild comment. So we find out she got a little bit of a crush on Adam while running up in Marissa's face as if they're close. And Marissa, you sitting up laughing about it. I don't think that that's cute at all. I think you should have checked Courtney and her bony MAGA self. I would have let her know about herself right then. But she gets hurt. She says she's hungry. And Adam's finally like, okay, we can stop pickleball because she doesn't like pickleball. I hate the way that no matter what she wants to do, he always turns it around and make it into something that he wants to do. He feels like he's just adding a wife to kind of be a partner for him, but that he doesn't have to be a partner for her. Adam, I don't like that. I think you're a very selfish person. And I love the fact that most of the audience that watches this show sees Adam for who he is, and they don't like him either. Y'all, they say he be under fake pages on Reddit trying to defend himself. So if you see an Adam defender, more than likely it's Adam. He's a nut. And there's another theory. He's talking about this, and I have a homeless friend on a pallet. His home, we saw his home. It's not the way he made it out. When Paul went to visit him, he acts like, I live on Lake Mercer, I'm this and that. It's actually a little shack between two real homes, and that the property belongs to the parents. I don't know. There's some stuff going on with Adam that's not true, and I think he's just trying to get a wife to help take care of him. So, y'all, that is a little bit crazy. Adam, we're not buying any of this, what you're trying to sell. And American Born says, Adam should have stayed with the girlfriend who worked out with him and played pickleball. Thank you. A shack with a tarp on the top. American Born, wasn't it? And then even Marissa, who usually defends everything he does, says, and there's 7 couches that are not outside couches he has outside. That's crazy. I probably would have known it right then when I saw the place. And he feels like they're going to stay there a year. A nut. And American Born just brought up, he brings out this girlfriend. I like to play pickleball 3 to 5 hours a day, 20 hours a week. And she likes to take 3-hour naps. So we're not compatible with that. But my last girlfriend did. The girlfriend cheated on him. And AB, I think it's the girl that Paul made him call. Because I think he was going to keep her in his back pocket. All that bragging, he lives in that. Yeah, now he's living like an unhoused person. I don't think that he has everything he claims he has. I think he's just a liar. This whole affect, everything. And why is he doing all this shopping at the thrift store? You can get those flower shirts at a real store. Just disgusting. So we see all the groups meet again. Group dinner, I really love a lot. What I don't love about group dinner is a lot of times they end up, back on the pickleball court, when Marissa actually needed to take a break and have a snack, they start discussing Bella Jolie and Mecca, not Becca, Bella Jolie and Mecca. They start discussing them. Also start discussing Dr. Sean and Nikki. So I find that really interesting. And Adam, I started to see something in you where I'm wondering about you, Adam. I don't like that because he tried Paul in his face at one point. And then he's going to get overly aggressive because Dr. Sean called him out on something. So I don't know what his problem is with the Black couples, but I'm seeing something in Adam that I don't really care for. And then they brought up Devin a little bit. Do they think it's going to work out with Devin? So I don't know. All of y'all are working on your own marriages. You shouldn't have to talk about other people. So Devin actually might be somebody that Courtney doesn't like, because remember when they had their argument, she ended up even saying to him, I can see why she doesn't want to live with you. I left that part out, but I felt that was kind of disgusting. So the men step away during the pickleball date, and Courtney is grilling Marissa, and Marissa is telling all their business. Marissa, this is not smart because we already know that Courtney, she thinks that Adam's the hottest husband, and I honestly would not have been letting her find out all my business and talking about my husband, even though I didn't like him. So Devin and his friends, they have a grill date with Caitlin. Caitlin feels like we're doing great. We're doing better than we were doing. And Devin is pouring his heart out to his friend. I don't know if the friend likes Caitlin. The friend saying, you cooking and you're not doing all this joking around. Devin's like, no, I've been trying to tamp it down a little bit. She don't really like all that. Devin's cry talking. I'm dimming my light according to the experts. And the friend's like, I see it. I can't believe you're doing that. She's like, bro, I know that you don't usually out here laughing, and now you're not. So Devin said, I wake up in the middle of the night. There's a pillow fort. Y'all, the pillow fort was crazy. Caitlin, what are you doing? Now, at the wedding, I actually thought they were one of the cuter couples. I thought there was chemistry. But now this girl's building pillow forts in the middle of the night. So Devin's crying, talking to his friend, while meanwhile, over here on the other side where they can't hear what Devin and the friend are talking about, and it's a female friend, y'all, you got to watch that. Blair Underwood had one in the cut for 30 years. He and his wife got divorced. Blair Underwood ended up marrying a woman that had been his friend 3 decades ago. No lie. She was at their wedding. So this friend, I don't know, she had a sparkle in her eyes when Devin was crying talking about Caitlin. So I think she wants to shoot her shot. So Devin was saying, if decision day was today, I'd say no. And then, now also I agree with Devin on this. She says she likes the dynamic that the way we have it now. I don't like that. The fact that he feels his light is dim, and Caitlin had the nerve to say, I kind of like him, that he's a little more, low key. But low key is not who he is. He's like a get out and go type person. So he doesn't really like that. So the friend, y'all, had a solo confessional. The friend in the solo confessional, she's saying, well, she's saying a lot of mumbo jumbo, but the gist of it was that people are different. They have different ideas of what relationships are. And basically, I don't think she thinks that Caitlin is the one for Devin. Maybe she wanted for herself. I don't know. But she seemed a little sporty spice to me. I think Devin likes a girly girl. So friend, I don't know. You might have to lay back like Blair Underwood's friend. I think she's now his wife. Blair Underwood, you married that woman? I think he did. He was hiding in fish grease after Sean called him out. AB, I can't wait to get to that. And Sean, whom I cannot stand, that don't mean he's stupid. He was right about that. 100%. The friend clocked it. She did. Before he even brought it up, she started saying he's different, this and that. And then he disclosed, yeah, the expert said I'm dimming my light. She's like, I knew it. AB says Caitlin is another one not ready for marriage. She's not. And then we're going to see her dad this week saying that you got to handle her with kids' gloves and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that's not his job as a husband. I feel like they should be a team and not one person having to handle somebody like their glass. That's crazy. So I do like the way they bring in all the different friends and you get to see different aspects of the person. That's really good. So next we have, let's see, who is the next couple? The group dinner. The group dinner. Everybody comes in to me a little bit fake. Cam and Michelle, they put a little bit of the Ritz on, but not as much. But everybody else was color coordinated and all this kind of stuff. Here's Paul. Look at these two. He's always impressed with Bella Jolie and Mecca because they do try to get. Remember, Bella Jolie said, "I want to dress like my husband." Adam is in this kimono. He looks ridiculous. Paul is looking at him. He's kind of annoyed. And then Mecca saying, I love this dude. Mecca's always laughing. And also Marissa's always laughing at Adam. I don't like it. I don't like Adam at all. So somebody is joking with Sean. Anytime Sean says framework or philosophy, take a shot. So Cam is saying, look, Coach Cam might come out tonight. Now, I don't like him and Michelle criticizing the couples, but I don't mind when Kim does that. Linda Gamble, welcome in. Let me read some comments and welcome in Linda Gamble. Linda, we are trying to catch up with Married at First Sight because we are 1 week away. And honestly, I'll have to speed it up a little bit because we have to get over there with our Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies. Hello, Sandra Pease, Gen Extra. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me during the live. I appreciate it. And speaks to Cece, Mama Bees, her sister moderators, and everyone is speaking back to Linda Gamble. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble. So Courtney, I didn't like the fact that Courtney was telling Mecca, oh, I didn't see all that ice. Now that we know she's maggot and all that kind of stuff, I kind of watch what she says. Nick's like, oh, I got to up my game. Now, we thought this wasn't a competition. So Cam ends up jumping in that Nick, you were upset last night at the dinner. Nick starts to speak. This was the Courtney and Nick confrontation that they had at the birthday dinner. Court jumps in. Oh, he's just happy we're making out more. Y'all, I'm sorry. That is my alarm. Let me set it off. So Nikki and Dr. Sean speak. They lie. They say that things are a lot more. Sparks are flying. So this is crazy. Felipe, for some reason, is talking with his mouth full, and he's saying they know what it's like to argue, and they're not really getting into it like they had. But Felipe is going to actually. I didn't like the way he dropped the bomb on Tori. He started saying that he still likes being a single man. He misses dating lots of women. So I found that really crazy. Marissa was saying we had a bad day. Adam was saying I took my jet ski and everything. We thought everything was a great day. They talked about pickleball. Marissa and Nick were sitting there laughing. I didn't think that the whole thing was funny. And they start going into how long they should play pickleball. Adam feels like she should play pickleball with him for 3 hours. Nick said, I noticed that whatever Adam wants to do, that's what they do. And Marissa doesn't really have her voice on this. So the experts are behind the scenes saying, yeah, that is something that we need to be mindful of. So Marissa's saying, well, I had a bad day. Adam's saying that this was one of the best days that he has because he loves to play pickleball. We get to hear more about this girlfriend that he should have kept. I think the girl dumped him, or either Paul made him dump the girl, if this is the woman he called. So the whole thing was crazy. Everybody weighs in. They're kind of noticing that Adam is the one always getting his way. And Marissa, I guess she's the one dimming her light in this relationship. Cam just flat out said, did you tell the experts you wanted Serena Williams type? So they're laughing. And he's saying, no, we want to push each other up another level. Not true. He doesn't need to push Marissa. I don't think she's not motivated. I just think she doesn't want to play pickleball like a part-time job. 30 hours a week is a part-time job. It's ridiculous. So someone asks, do you have to have the same hobby? Adam says, my former girlfriend did, and I need that. Cam blares his eyes. Melissa's sitting there looking kind of stupid. So Adam is giving this glare that he gives whenever you don't agree with him. Marissa, girl, you better sleep with one eye open. Y'all know what I think about Adam. I don't think he's a safe person. So he is getting dragged by everybody feeling like it's stupid that you have to play pickleball for 3 hours or 5 hours a day, 30 hours a week. And then he jokes that it's down from 6 hours. I think Adam has an addictive personality. And I think we're going to see more about it when I come back and finish up the other episodes and finish catching up on this. Because Adam, now that I think about it, him being a teetotaler, that's okay, that's fine. But the fact that he even needs Marissa to taste his drink to see whether or not there's any alcohol in it before he drinks, I think it's crazy. So they finally let Adam off the hook, throw him back in. Felipe jumps off the bridge talking about he still likes sleeping with a bunch of women. So if the decision day were today, he wouldn't say yes. And Mecca yelled, oh, ish. Mecca, I did the same thing in my living room. I couldn't believe it. Tori says, that's his problem. Tori said, I think Felipe has a lot of work to do on his own, and it's not my job. I'm secure in myself. I'm not going to carry things that aren't mine. Tori's talking her talk. I loved it. So Dr. Paz says, I think that's great. She's not codependent. Look at all this strength. Dr. Paz, this is where I don't like you, because you shouldn't set these women up where they have to be so strong, because you know you put them with a dog of a man. Felipe was late to every single meeting. Felipe didn't really want to be matched. Felipe would stand them up, ghost them, and they said, I think he's ready for a match. And then give him Tori, who actually had a man cheat on her. So I don't like that. AB says Paul doesn't like Adam. No, Paul doesn't like Adam. And Adam doesn't like Paul. He also surprisingly doesn't like Dr. Sean. So if a black man's telling him something, he don't like it. They have to be kind of a clown like Mecca, I guess. Thank you, Linda Gamble. 6 likes for in the chat. Marissa's finally realizing things aren't good. No, she's finally, I'm glad and good. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant. So when I finally catch up and we kick old MAGA Courtney out of here and Nick, that will be a week before decision day, because they left 2 weeks before decision day. AB says, how's he holding down a job doing that every day? I don't know that there's a job to be held down, AB. That's why I don't believe Adam, and he's claiming he's this rich tech bro. Adam, we don't believe you. AB says, Felipe is not pulling women as beautiful as Tori, let's be honest. And Kim finally told him, look, You're going to get older. These women are not going to want you, and you're not going to get anybody on the level of Tory. So I happen to agree with Cam. I'm going to end there, everybody. I'm going to leave Violence up here because Violence, where are you? Bella Jolie needs you because Mecca trying to break her down to the studs, and we hate to see it. But y'all, so far, season 20, I love it. It's been really good. So I'll catch up. Also, everything else. I'm going to schedule a live sometime tomorrow to catch up with 1 and also 2 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 2. Thank you, Linda. 6 likes, 2 in the chat. So I appreciate everybody getting ready for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And as always, thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. Please like, share, subscribe, hype the video, help keep my channel in the algorithm. Okay, I'll be looking for it. Thank you, American Born. I appreciate your support so much. And as always, I will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you, AB. Bye.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I